Welcome to Get Your Bell Rung, a pro wrestling podcast. I am your host, KG Landry, and with me, my co-host, the wrestling enthusiast, Mark. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm just upset about the weather, man. It went from gorgeous to freaking damn near cold
Yep,
in
high
like three
today was
days.
58, but I'll take this over the brutal heat anytime.
Oh no,
So,
I like the heat, man. I like the heat. I don't like my
mm,
electric. I don't like my electric bill. But I like the heat.
you didn't grow up in Louisiana, though.
No, but I mean, you know what? We get, we don't get the length of heat you guys get because you guys will get like 3 months of just pure ass kicking, but we'll get like 2-3 weeks of pure ass kicking. But this year wasn't bad.
No, 3 months. Shit, we'll get 11 months of that ass kicking and 1 month of cool weather.
Oh yeah.
So,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't think I've never been down to Louisiana. I've been down to Texas, South Carolina, Florida, but I've never been to Louisiana.
you're not missing much. So,
I don't know. There's some history and culture there. I want to go hunt gators, man.
yeah, you can have fun with that. It's not like what you see on whatever the name of that freaking show is.
Swamp people.
Yeah, Swamp People. It's nothing like that. Nothing at all. My brother-in-law actually did all of that for a living, and he used to get so mad about that show because he's like, that show's such bullshit. None of that shit happens. So, but we're here.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think it happens, but not to the degree that he thinks it does. They portray it a lot easier than what it actually is.
No, they
You
portray it a
know.
lot harder than what it is, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
According to
know.
him. Yeah. So, but as interesting as this conversation may be, probably more interesting about this conversation is probably more interesting than last night's AEW, but that's what we're here to talk about is AEW Dynamite. There's just some stuff that was just ridiculous, especially the start of it. But let's get into it.
Yeah, so we started with Gabe Kidd to ring, calling out Darby Allen. Darby, which uh, indulges him. A fight breaks out. Yuta comes out to help Gabe. John and Claudio come out. Next thing you know, Hook comes out. The Trios champion comes out, minus one body. Willow comes out. Ends up being Kid in a body bag, chained to a truck, and Darby drives off in the truck, dragging Gabe Kidd.
Which was absolutely, utterly ridiculous.
Well, like I told you last night, it was kind of reminiscent of WWE 1990s.
Yeah, and like I said last night, it's the reason why I didn't watch WWE in the 1990s. Look,
And I told you, you did through gritted teeth, but you did.
look, the first time the whole body bag thing happened, it was cool. The problem is they keep on going back to that well over and over again. And it went from the one time it being, haha, this is kind of funny, kind of cool, whatever, to this is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but the last time he left him on the ground, he didn't drag him.
Yeah, but still, I mean, this is what the second or third week in a row AEW has opened up the exact same way with a big brawl happening. I mean, again, you keep on going to the well over and over again, then it loses its excitement. I just
It
wasn't my
loses
cup of
its
tea.
what?
It loses its excitement.
Oh God.
Because you expect it. I mean, because this is, what they do. And this is where AEW seems to fail is they will do one thing, and if they get a positive reaction, they will continuously do it over and over and over again. It's
Beating a dead horse.
Yeah, I mean, look, the in-ring action for the most part is fine. They just with their storylines, it's almost like they don't know how to do a storyline without it being just absolutely absurd.
They don't know how to do a consistent storyline.
And they don't know how to do it without it being absolutely absurd. their storylines are very much reminds me of WCW, not during the good days of WCW, but the days where WCW was going downhill.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Speaking of which, I I caught part of it was on Vice, What Killed WCW. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
and I've already seen it, but it's always nice to go back and through it.
yeah. By the way, so TNA is being televised tonight by, is there a channel called TNA? Or what's,
I
damn it.
think there is, but they don't
Let me,
show anything current. They just show like clips or shows of previous years.
well, tonight, they're actually doing which I think they're in Minnesota tonight, actually, but they're going to be, let me pull it up. Yeah, so I'm sorry, TNA Impact. I'm sorry, not TNA Wrestling. Well, Impact, yeah, same thing. TNA Impact is streaming for free on TNA Plus and our YouTube channel. So, if you guys want to check out TNA, it's going to be on their TNA Plus channel. It's free tonight. So they're at the Armory in Minneapolis tonight.
So they're looking to pack what 3,000-4,000?
I don't know, man, but their tickets was like 100. When I looked at getting tickets, it was like $150 per person.
That's asinine for TNA.
Yeah,
They should
yeah,
be going for like 35-40 bucks max.
I agree. I agree. That's why I'm not there tonight.
Right. No, I mean, and granted, they got some good wrestling. I'm not going to sit there and say different, but
It
I don't think they
does.
have the star power unless they're bringing in NXT. And even with NXT, I don't know if I'd pay
Right.
$100.
I mean, I wouldn't, 100, like I said, 150. I wouldn't pay $150 to go buy a ticket for TNA.
I wouldn't go to WWE for $150 a ticket.
You're not going to WWE anytime soon.
Right. It's out of my price range.
Yeah,
We need some sponsors to get us some tickets.
I'm working on that, man. I'm working on that.
I know. All right. So, anyways, next we'll go to a recap of Windsor and Monet's. I don't know if you'd call it a feud because it's only been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Right.
but whatever. But a recap of that, and then a match ensues. And actually, you know what? I actually like this match, and uh, Windsor's actually a pretty good wrestler.
I actually agree with you. I think that match between Monet and Windsor was really good.
I didn't like the sneaky pin, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, she is, Monet's a heel. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I thought the match was good. Of course, you have your haters talking about, oh, Monet this, Monet that. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Monet either, but you can't just say that something sucked just for the sake of it because you don't like the participant in it. Um, it was
you
a fine
can't. Oh
match.
shit! There goes my Saturday nights.
But no, it was a good match. It really was.
Yeah, it was. And then out of nowhere, after the match, Monet keeps attacking Windsor. Out of nowhere, the 76-pound Rio comes out to establish her dominance.
Yeah, this is when I lost interest.
I like
Um,
Rhea, but she's just not believable. I mean, she's actually a hell of a wrestler. She
yeah.
really is. But she's like 76 pounds with a fucking uh push-up brawn.
Well, look, she could have all 9 of Monet's belts on, and
She
she
still wouldn't
still
crack
wouldn't
a
weigh
hundred.
over 100 pounds.
Right. But
Um,
she's a hell of a wrestler. I'm not gonna sit there and take that away from her. I think she's only 10 pounds heavier than when she broke her wrestling at 8 against Kenny Omega.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of hers, and nothing that she does excites me. She is a talent, a good talent. She'll do some crazy stuff off that top rope, but yeah, I was just like, I wasn't excited to see her return by any means.
Yeah, I don't see the star factor there. I mean,
Right.
yeah, she's a great worker, but you gotta have the whole package, and she doesn't have the whole package.
Right.
So, in my opinion, I guess I have to stress that. All right, so next we go to an interview with the ops. Hook shows up. He's kind of disappointed that they found a replacement for him so quick, and you know, Samoa Joe took full credit for that and says, "Well, pretty much we can't wait around." Um, but he says, "Hey, regardless, we've got your back." And Hook says, "I don't want you." He says, "Well, regardless, we've got your back." You know.
Yeah. So it seems like they're planting the seeds for a feud between Hook and I guess Samoa Joe. Do you see either one of these guys turning into a heel?
Samoa Joe treads that line of heel and hero every match. You know, he can do heel shit and people still cheer him just because he's Samoa Joe. You
Yeah.
know, he hasn't got that Randy Orton level of respect, but he's not too far down the run. People respect Samoa Joe.
Well, I tell you, my prediction, I think I might have said this last week. My prediction is that Hook is going to end up with the Death Riders. And Yuta is going to wind up getting kicked out of the Death Riders. And
Mm,
I think that this is when the feud between the Ops and the Death Riders are really going to go to the next level because of Hook joining.
I can't see Hook being the one that taking the losses all the time like Yuta does. I can't see that. They've I think they've built Hook up pretty well or fairly decent. Um, they've invested more in Hook than they have Yuta, to be
Well,
honest.
that's why they have the kid there. That's why they have the gay kid, or
Oh,
whatever his
good.
name is.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll give you that. And he's got no drawing appeal either. Absolutely none. He
No,
might
and
be something in Japan, but he's got nothing here.
yeah, I mean, I don't like this interest by Hook. I'm just being honest. The whole H symbol, like he's fucking Batman or something, is just it's corny, very corny to me. And
Yeah, it
look,
is.
I don't think Hook's over that well either, because I mean, they are in Philadelphia, the home of ECW, the home of Taz. This is Taz's son. So you think of all places, Hook would really be getting this huge pop. He's just not.
Yeah, remember he's been off TV for what, 3 months, 4 months?
It
You
doesn't
know?
matter. They know who he is. They know he's Taz's son.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
you're
don't think
right.
he's I just don't think he's over. I think he was more over as a heel than as a baby face.
Yeah, you could be right. Next we go to Ricochet and Gates of Agony vignette, I guess. They're gunning for the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah,
And
I go
this
ahead.
I like.
I was about to say I actually like this. I know people like to shit on Ricochet, but you know, him being a heel, him being on AEW, his mic skills has definitely improved. I don't know if he feels more comfortable as a heel. That's why he's improved. I don't know if it's because he feels more comfortable at AEW over WWE, but nonetheless, his mic skills have gotten so much better. And I'm really glad to see Gates of Agony being pushed the way they're being pushed and being in the spotlight. These guys are too big, too dominant, too good for them to be lower mid card like they were.
Right. Right. All right, so next we go to Mark Briscoe in ring, calls out Don Callis. Don says you can face Takeshita. Um,
In collision.
yeah, but first you got to face somebody else. Or no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, no, first he said, collision, and then Briscoe was like, well, that's all fine and good, but I came here to fight
Mister
tonight.
Tashita.
Right. But this is where it didn't make sense to me. Now, the whole reason why Briscoe went out there and to call out Don Callis' family, because apparently Don Callis said the only way you get to the belt that you want is by beating someone in the Don Callis family, right? Well, we seen him beat someone last night in the Don Callis family. So why should he have to fight Takeshita on Collision? That just kind of fell apart for me. Um, and I don't like seeing Murderhawk taking another fucking loss. This guy is another guy that's too big. He's brutal in the ring for him to constantly be taking L's. What happened to his tag team partner, by the way?
Right. You know who I'd like to see him against? You know, because I think they're similar dimensions. Big Bill. I think Big Bill's got him on height, but you know these are two big guys that actually can maneuver in a ring. You know,
Yeah.
and I guess I'd like to see these two go at it.
Yep, that would be bad, but I don't know, man. It seems like ever since Murderhawks come on AEW, they'll give him a 2 or 3 win push, and then next thing you know, he's an enhanced talent.
Yeah, but it's no different in Japan. You know, he lost
Yeah,
the U.S. belt how many times in Japan?
right,
You know,
right. Yeah,
and he lost the tournament there too. I think one time.
yeah. I really prefer him with Jake the Snake Roberts. I thought they made a great team.
Oh God yes, that was a pairing made in heaven.
Right.
You know, you couldn't ask for a better pairing. I think.
Yep.
Um, unless it was Tully Blanchard with FTR.
Right.
All right. So a match ensues with Lance Archer and Briscoe. And Briscoe obviously got the win, which
Right.
I don't buy, but whatever. Next we go to Tony Storm and her Tony Storm ways. Basically left an open challenge for anybody.
You know, some Wednesday nights I like Tony Storm. I like the promos. Others, it's kind of to me. Last night was one of those to me.
I kind of liked it. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't just spectacular or extraordinary, but I liked it. She still came out with her little innuendos or whatnot.
Right.
Um, but I think it was a little bit long winded, and it wasn't even that long to be honest. But it felt like it was longer than it should have been.
Right. Right.
All right, so next we go to Harley and Statlander, who are undefeated after only winning one match.
Harley cracks me up. She's definitely funny.
Harley
She's
is so talented in so many different aspects. You know, when she was facing Monet, that doll she had and
yeah.
uh, um, ventriloquism. Oh my god, I was rolling. You know, plus she's musical. She's a comedian. I mean, Harley is just entertaining.
She
You
is.
know,
She is.
and
And
she's good in the ring.
yep, like I said, she had me laughing last night.
Harley, you know what? I don't remember last time Harley didn't make me laugh, other than the fact that when she was probably a heel.
Yep. I mean, even when Yuta came out, she had me laughing. I mean,
Right. So yeah, Yuta comes out and says, "The Dark Riders have your back," and Statler says, "Well, I don't want it," but he says, "Well, that's right. We still got your back." So they're teasing that Statlander joining them too.
but do you think that if Statlander does join the Death Riders, do you think they're just going to have 2 women, or do you think that something's going to happen between her and Maria?
I think eventually, yeah. I mean, you know, I mean that's like MGF joining the Hurt Syndicate. He knew that wasn't going to last. So
Yeah, but don't even give me
Statlander joining the Death Riders. Yeah, you know it's not going to last. It's going to end.
right, and don't even get me started on the whole MJF Death Riders thing because that
Because
was
it's
such a failure.
yeah, it was such a big letdown. All right, so next we go to Edge to the ring. FDR immediately attacks him. Christian took his leisure time getting out there. Apparently, um, the whole locker room of jobbers comes out to break him up, which I thought was hilarious.
No, they weren't
You know, I
jobbers. They
don't
were
think.
actually they were RO. They those all of those guys are on ROH.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh well, where do you watch ROH? Because they all look like jobbers to me.
uh, that is their developmental apparently.
All right, all right. Except for one guy apparently had a match either on Collision or Dynamite, and he's going to face one of the FTR next week.
No, he's going to be facing FTR because they told him to find a partner
Oh, okay.
and they'll fate. Yeah.
All right. Next, we go to a vignette of Garcia, Daniel Garcia. He wants Moxley in the worst way, and I can see Daniel getting one over. And here's another one they're teasing on, joining the Death Riders.
Yep.
These guys are starting to branch out like the NWO.
I was just about to say that. I swear to you, if they start doing this, it's going to get even more ridiculous, and they're going to lose viewers.
Right. And Aces and Eights was like that too.
Yeah, and Aces and Eight started off so damn good too, so damn good,
Yep.
and
Up
then
until they revealed Billy was involved.
right,
You
yep,
know. And then it just went to piss. But yeah, Aces and Eights started out really good. All right, so next we go to the main event. Wow, this is a quick night. Didn't feel like it though. Next we go to the main event of Jet Speed, Page, and Omega versus the Young Bucks or those other guys or those guys again. That's what it was. Those guys again. Um, Josh Alexander and Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher.
Now, you know what? I don't even know who got the win here or the
Yep,
pin.
yep. Josh actually pinned Kevin Knight, if I'm not mistaken.
Um,
Um,
but
I was
all I
I
know
was
is
surprised that this is the second or third week in a row that is Josh Alexander that got that, pin somebody.
yeah. Um, but after the match, it was just a total beatdown on everybody.
Yeah,
Speed Force or whatever they are.
just be
Um, Jet Speed, that's it. Speed
yep.
Force. Omega looks like he took the worst of it, so he'll be off of TV for a pay per view.
We say this, but we just said this about him a couple of weeks ago because he's having some type of health issue where he's suffering a lot of chronic pain. So we thought the last attack he would be written off TV. He wasn't. So I'm not sure if they're going to write him off TV or not.
Oh, he looks pretty bloated.
Yeah, look, a lot of AEW top stars are out right now, so they're hurting.
Yeah. Well, Tony might have to open up his checkbook and buy some more people.
Well, supposedly, Karrion Cross is wanting to go to AEW. Supposedly, and I say supposedly because I can't believe that if he truly wanted to go, that Tony would have signed him already. So,
Well, he might have, but they still got that non-compete clause for what
90
60
days.
and 90 days.
Yeah, something like that.
So they're not going to announce it until what was SummerSlam was his last week after SummerSlam. So you're talking, you know, late August.
So, and I could be wrong, but the 90-day clause, I think that's only if they let you go earlier than what your contract ends. But when it comes to resigning, like if they don't resign you contract wise, I don't think there's a 90-day clause. I could be wrong, but I swore that I read that somewhere.
Oh, it was on the internet, so it must be right.
No, of course.
I think the 90-day clause is valid regardless because they want you out of the limelight for them 90 days.
Yeah.
Because it essentially hurts you for merchandise.
Right. Hold on a second.
You're gonna fact check that? You're an ass.
No, I'm not, dude. We're a fucking podcast that reports on wrestling.
Oh, well then we should have known this before we started the podcast tonight.
Oh, it just came to my no. Karrion Cross does not have a 90-day non-compete clause as his contract with WWE expired rather than being terminated. So, like I said, if your contract is terminated, you have that 90-day clause. If it's not terminated and it expires, you do not have that 90-day clause.
Oh, okay. You figure they would have fixed that with Lex Luger back in the late 90s.
You would think.
You would think, you know. That was probably the biggest bird I'd seen in I don't know, years.
But here we are. Now, something else that has been in wrestling news is apparently SmackDown, the tickets for SmackDown on Friday night has been sold. Like people have been buying it like wildfire because of the anticipation that AJ Lee is going to be making her return on Friday night SmackDown. I'll be honest, I'll be shocked if that happens.
So wait a minute, hold on. Chicago's like what, the third or fourth largest city in the United States?
Something like that.
Well, I know it goes New York, Los Angeles, and then I think it's Chicago. All right. So I'm guessing Chicago's what, 3, 4 million people? It's got to be at least three.
Sure.
Right. You're going to tell me that you frequent there enough. You're going to tell me that you can't sell it at 15,000?
It's not that they can't, it's just they're going faster than normal.
Oh,
because of the anticipation of AJ returning, which again, I don't know. For some reason, part of me doesn't think it's going to happen, but maybe so. I mean, they're going to be in Chicago. CM Punk, that's his city. I guess just by association, that means that's AJ City. Who knows? But I know that's what the fans are expecting. For some reason, again, I just don't think that she's going to be there.
yeah. I think so. I think she'll be there, possibly. But it might be one of them things like Punk showing up at the end of Survivor Series. It might be the last
Yeah.
30 seconds. It might not be this grand entrance or whatever. It might be just his last 30 seconds or whatnot.
Oh,
I did.
if it's going to happen, I'm completely expecting it to be Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch putting the beat down on CM Punk, and then CM Punk kicks Seth Rollins' ass. Seth gets thrown out the ring or whatnot, and then CM Punk and Becky Lynch are face to face. Becky's going to kick him in the balls or something. Next thing you know, AJ's music's going to hit, and she's going to come in, and it's going to go off air with AJ beating the shit out of Becky Lynch. That's what I'm expecting if she does indeed show up. But I want to go back to AEW. After these past couple of episodes, are you excited at all for All Out on September 20th?
No, they got to build up for it still. I mean, I couldn't even tell you one match. And to be quite honest, I'm horrible about what matches are on what pay-per-views or PLEs. I'm horrible. I could watch the show and they could announce every damn match, and 3 minutes later I couldn't tell you what match was coming on
Yeah,
as far as
no,
pay-per-view or PLE.
I don't remember
I
the
haven't heard anything
last.
about Adam Page facing anybody.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I was excited about an AEW pay-per-view because of a build. I get excited for AEW pay-per-view just because I know that they're always good.
Right. You're
But
preconditioned.
right. But I do think they need to do a better job of building to their pay-per-views. Now, of course, All Out is going to be on Saturday, September 20th, in the afternoon. I think it's at 1:00.
I think
Which,
it's two
by the
o'clock
way,
central.
huh?
It's 2 o'clock central, I believe.
So it's 1:00 here. Yeah. So,
No, 2 o'clock central. I said.
Citro. Don't be
Yeah.
yelling at me, motherfucker. I think it's at 2 Eastern. Do I need to fact check your ass so you can be wrong about that too?
Fact check my ass. Go for it. I'm pretty sure they said
Regardless,
2 o'clock central.
regardless, a lot of people were saying that, oh, well, Tony Khan is a coward for moving times and not going head to head with WWE. No, that's called fucking good business. He's being
Right.
fucking smart.
Right. No, you sent a message yesterday saying that. And I said, yeah, so an earlier time and a lower price, smart move on both aspects.
Right. So, yeah. So you shockingly, you're actually right in this instance. It is 3 p.m. Eastern, so it's 2 o'clock Central. It's going to be in Canada, so I imagine they have a good crowd. The Canadian crowd is always better than the fans here in the United States when it comes to live shows. So I'm expecting this to be a pretty damn good pay-per-view on the 20th, which by the way is also my birthday. So that's gonna make it even better.
Okay, I'll be sure to bring you some Diet Coke.
Save your money for the Diet Coke and just throw it towards the fucking pay-per-view. Oh, by the way, it's going to be on HBO Max finally, but this is what was a little disappointing for me. Supposedly, there was this discount you were going to get if you already had, if you're a subscriber to HBO Max, which I am. $10 is all we're saving. It's going to be $39.99 instead of the $49.99 if you are a subscriber for HBO Max. I was expecting it to be maybe $21 or something like that. Like, come on, man, really? But it's still cheaper and it's a better pay-per-view than what WWE puts out as far as their PLEs.
Right. Well, that's it. That's all we got tonight.
Yep. What would you give AEW grade-wise?
I really can't see, and this is pushing it, a C plus, and that's pushing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna give it a flat out C.
Yeah, but I'm a bigger mark for AEW than you are.
Well, it's been a while since we've had a really good Dynamite. It seems to me last night was a little bit worse than normal, though.
It seemed to flow well. Not extraordinary. I mean, I've seen shows that flowed better, but yeah, it just felt like something was off.
I just wish AEW would get back to having these great shows. I remember, 4 or 5 years ago, being excited that it was Wednesday night and AEW was on. A lot of that had to do with the fact that back then we had the AEW originals, but now it's almost like we're watching, WWE Light. Most of the guys, that are the top stars are former WWA people or WWE people. And that sucks because I really wish that we still had a good majority of the AEW originals there. But
yeah, but part of that back then was there was a lot of people we really didn't know. I mean, how much exposure did you have Darby Allin to Orange Cassidy, to the Best Friends, to Sammy Guevara? Sammy Guevara coming out with just a panda hat or head was worth the price of admission. It was so retardedly stupid.
Yeah, I mean, but even after we got to know these guys, right? I still enjoyed it because it was just, to me, they were just better than WWE at that point. But here we are now. So,
well, even 2 years ago, you didn't know what to expect. Well, 3 years ago, you didn't know what to expect. Now, and finally, I think, and I think it really hit home when Cody left. That's I think was one of the major downfalls.
Right. Yep, I agree.
I don't know if Cody had a lot of sway or a lot of story input, but after Cody left, then you start seeing the decline in storylines, and I don't want to say performance, but I think there was some decline in performance per se.
I just think that Cody was the guy that was in Tony Khan's ear the most, and that's why we had a better product. Now look, there's a part of me on Wednesdays that still get excited because I still hope that, okay, tonight may be the night that we have a great Dynamite and it's going to go from there. But I still get that way with WWE too. WWE hasn't been that great the past few weeks, especially Raw. SmackDown to me has been better than Raw. But I'm constantly having that hopes that, okay, this is going to be a great show.
Right.
Maybe I am doing it to myself by having these expectations.
Maybe you're just fickle.
I'm not fickle. My hatred is pretty much standard across the board.
Fair enough.
Anyway, guys, this will do it for the review of AEW Dynamite. Please subscribe to my podcast. Mark, anything?
No, dude. Not a chance. Anything be all right. Yeah, WWE signed me to a developmental contract as a jobber.
Hey, here's something. September 25th, we're going to be having a Jumpin' Jim Brazil.
Bronzel.
Bronzel, yep. As my guest, he was one half of the legendary Killer Bees with B. Brian Blair. B. Brian has been on the podcast, so it'll be cool to say that in a way I've had the Killer Bees on the podcast, just not at the same time. I am looking forward to that interview as well. And I have some great guests that's coming up soon. Just follow me on Facebook and you'll be able to keep up who's going to be my guest on whatever particular night. Other than that, you guys have a great night.
Hold on.
What?
You know, it's great that Jim had such a career with the Killer Bees, but Jim actually had a hell of a career at AWA.
Yes.
You know, but because they didn't have, I don't know, a team name or something, it was always just Greg Gagne and Jim Bronzel.
Right.
You know, but Jim was world champion, tag team champion AWA multiple times with Greg Gagne.
Yep. And we'll be covering all of that.
Fair enough.
All of that. But again, before I was so rudely interrupted,
I raised my hand. Shut up.
You guys have a great night. And don't forget to get your bell rung and to subscribe to Get Your Bell Rung, a pro wrestling podcast.